Welcome back everybody. Today we're gonna play Breach on Fracture. Today is day 66 of playing every agent on every map. Today's agent Breach is probably one of the best agents you can play on a map like Fracture. Fracture has a lot of narrow corridors where you can use Breach's stun in the best way. And on the other hand, Breach is also pretty versatile if you play him with a duelist, because a Breach can basically use all of his util to help the duelist take space, which is in general a pretty good idea. And with Techo being that strong right now, him combined with a Breach is a deadly duo, and that makes a Techo combined with a Breach on Fracture also a really good idea. Starting off with A-side defense. A-side defense as a Breach is pretty simple. You mainly stand right here, wait for your teammate to take contact somewhere in main, over here, and then you stun. If you don't hear anything, you can just keep your stun and use it for the enemies when they take the side, for example on B or on A as well. Other things you can also do is to flash through this wall or even flash through the door to give your teammates in main an easier time fighting the enemies that are coming in through A main. Other options you also have is to play from A main itself with a stun like this. But this stun isn't the greatest either, because it firstly leaves a gap right here. If you play close here, you're most likely going to get stunned by the enemy Breach, or you might even get ran over by the enemy's duelist. And in general, just stunning from heaven is a better idea. But if you play close here, you can also flash through these boxes, make sure you don't peek like I just did, so the enemies in main can't really see you, and they're not going to be ready for a flash. Or you can also just flash through the wall right here to achieve the same thing. Other things you can also do to stop the enemies from coming in is firstly also a aftershock, either through here, that goes like this way through. Same thing also in main. If you're standing right here close, you can use a aftershock like this. Switching over towards Dish. On Dish you also have a couple of options. One I really like is to stand close here in this corner and stun for your teammate as soon as he either has contact, or if you hear anything you can stun. And then anyone that is playing in main is gonna be full stun, and it's gonna be a free kill. You can also combine that with as soon as they take the orb, use a stun, and then use a aftershock. You can then even go peek out with a flash through the aftershock, which is really hard to dodge. And in general, this should net you at least one kill if the enemies are close. What you have to worry about, however, if you do this play, is that somebody can just walk up here without you noticing it, and then if you have your stun in your hand, you're going to be a free kill, and the enemies are going to be at least one up. Other things you can also do is stun drop from over here when you're playing on site, but this is in general also pretty risky because you're kind of stuck on site and you can't really get out as a Breach. And then to the last things, you can also stun drop as soon as you hear somebody drop down, and then use a aftershock like this to kill anyone that is playing close under here, because they're gonna either take a lot of damage, or you can just hold them from waiting out, or even if this space is smoked right here, you can just keep spamming. And then now over to something you can do with the ult. Something that is pretty common for the enemies to have a lot of people that are coming through a main right here. You can use a ult like this, firstly push them back, and maybe even combine that with some Techo mollies back here, or a Brim ult right here as well, that can net you even an ace if the enemies are not aware enough. By the way, the same thing can also be done with just a stun, but if you just use one stun, it doesn't cover quite as much distance. The other thing you can do with your ult is to just wait here for the enemies that are trying to go for a plant. As soon as they go for a plant and your team is ready, you can run inside, and then use a second stun towards main. Maybe even an aftershock to stop the enemies from peeking into main, and then you can clear outside pretty easily. Other things you can also do is to flash through this part right here if you want to peek out, or flash even deeper through here to not flash any of your teammates that are playing close here. And then to a last flash, you can also use is one through this box right here to flash anyone that is coming out of main, or even trying to go back into main. Switching over towards B. On B, you can stun right here in the beginning of the round if you want to play aggressive on B. A stun like this will stun anyone that is playing close here and try to go up here fast. And anyone that is crossing over is probably not going to be stunned, but they're going to be not with their teammates, so it's going to be harder for them to trade out their teammates. Another thing you can also do is to get flash in front of here, or flash up here to flash anyone that is coming in towards main. And then you can use either a aftershock here, or an aftershock through this wall right here, to damage anyone that is trying to hide in this corner or this corner over here. Another thing you can also do if you want to play a little more passive is to chum spot right here by crouching and chum spotting, getting information over main. As soon as you see somebody, you can go stun. You can try to fight from over here, or you can try to fight them from over here. You can also combine that with somebody playing close here, for example in Neon, and then flashing through this wall right here. With a jump, you're gonna flash anyone in main, but you have to tell your Neon that you're flashing here, because it might also flash them. Another thing you can also do is to play from over here and have somebody else jump spotting main, for example a Teikyo holding his mollies out, because as soon as they see somebody that is playing close here, they're either gonna go up because they're stunned, or they're gonna go back and towards this corner, and then you can use a aftershock to this corner, and the Teikyo can use his mollies in main to do a lot of damage to the enemies. If you want to go over towards the arcade area, you can use either a stun from over here and stun anyone that is coming in through main, with a teammate that is playing close here that can play off your stun, or you can stun off of his contact, so as soon as you see somebody, you stun. You can also go close here yourself, but this is something I don't really recommend. But if you go close here, you can play aftershock in this corner here close to do a lot of damage to the enemies. Same thing also if you have, for example, a Killjoy ult and you want to fight in towards arcade, you can use a stun in towards main, and then a aftershock down here to either stop the enemies from really seeing you, or anyone that is playing under is gonna try to get up to you that can't really go because like the aftershock is there. You can then use a flash here, or even use a flash up here to flash the people that are playing close here. Aggression is a pretty good thing on defense on Fracture, because you only have two lanes where the enemies can come from. So if you fight one side, they can only come from the other side if you kill all of the people on this side. So using a breach to take aggressive space on defense is a pretty good thing. If you want to play a little more passive, or if you're just coming in from a retake, you can use stuns like these that stun close here and the people in tower. Or a stun like this towards the side, and then using a aftershock right here. Same thing can obviously also be done from over here, but you have to kind of worry of people peeking you. This is really good because you can deny that plant for the people that are planting in the safe spot, and you can also deny the plant for the people that are planting close, right here behind these boxes. In general, Breach is a really good character you can use to set your team up, so I recommend you play with a duelist player in a duo queue. Switching over towards attack. On attack, you can use either a stun like this, close here, to stun anyone that is playing close here and trying to play aggressive, or you can save your stun and thirsty use a flash through this wall right here, and then stun up here to stop anyone from picking you from the rope area right here. This is a really good combination because firstly, the people that are playing close here under are gonna get flashed, and your teammate can then walk out, and the people that are playing here close anti-flash are gonna get stunned, and your teammate still has a pretty free time killing them. Other things you can also do is to aftershock that top spot if you have any information on that by going either from here. You can also use that in combination with a stun. First use a stun and then use a aftershock through here. Or you can go in towards main and then either flash here close, or flash out up here, or even over here. If you flash over here, you get more of the people that are playing towards this side. If you flash up here, it is harder for the people that are playing close here to dodge your flash. Other things that are also pretty good is a aftershock through here, because a aftershock like this is gonna hit the people that are playing below and the people that are playing on top, so you can clear out the biggest part of the site with just one single aftershock. Other things you can also do is to aftershock the heaven area if you know somebody is there, so nobody can drop down and disrupt you while you're planting. Similarly, you can also aftershock close here, or even closer towards this side to stop the people from peeking you right here. Other flashes that are pretty strong is one right here and one right here. These two flashes either flash the people that are playing close here, playing on drop, or playing close here, so it is pretty hard for them to peek out. Another thing you can use combined with a flash through here, for example, is a aftershock close here. Because like that, you aftershock the people that are playing close in these two corners, and the people, since they are flash, are going to be farther in towards the corner, and they're not going to realize they're going to get hit by an aftershock really quickly, and they're going to take at least 80 damage, and if they do get out before that, they're going to still be full blinded, and it's going to be pretty hard for them to get a kill, and you're going to have a free kill. Stuns for side, I recommend you usually stun either through top side like this, get the people that are playing close here. I recommend you don't you don't like forget that there can be people in this corner right here, so you can also stun even further in. But in general, stunning like this is probably the best idea. You just have to tell your teammate the people that are playing all the way in the corner are not going to be stunned, so they can peek out like this and insta pre-fire the people that are playing in this corner close. Another stun you can also do is one towards CT like this, because that stun also gets the people that are trying to retake the sites that are coming from B. For a breach hold, I recommend either one site like this, if you have the information of people being site, or one like this. You get the people that are playing close sands. You don't get the people in this close corner here, but you also get the people that are playing close here, and it is pretty hard for them to hold the site. Other than that, that's the easiest way to take A from, or that's the util you need to take A from the main site, and then now I'm going to show you how to take it from dish. From dish, it is pretty simple. You can either go here close and stun like this. This is really recommended if you have a neon on your team, because the neon can then just run in and pick off the stunned people, and it is gonna be pretty easy for the neon because the neon can just dash past the people, and it's gonna be really hard for the enemies to kill those people, to kill the neon, because it is harder to turn around with a stun. Other than that, you can also use a flash right here. That's gonna flash anyone that is playing close here, or even a flash up here if you think they are holding you, from example, on top of these boxes, or this corner right here. Other than that, using a aftershock under here close isn't a bad idea to damage anyone that is playing close under, or even using one towards CT like this to stop the people from pushing out. You can also use a stun like this to stun the people that are playing on site, or a stun like this to stun the people that are playing CT and the people that are playing rope at the same time. But in general, I recommend you go a side from main, because the stuns are easier to use from main, and it helps you more because main is harder to take than dish. Switching over towards B, what I recommend on B main is to either flash through here or stun this right here. But if you stun it, you have to kind of worry of you stunning your teammates, or the enemies just walking out wide and killing you while you have your stun out. So flashing is, in my opinion, the better idea. Then you can keep your stun to either stun like this, to stun the people that are playing behind dice and the people that are playing in tower, and then you can use either a aftershock close here, or even a aftershock through the tower area combined with maybe some Tekio mollies to do a lot of damage on the people that are playing up there. For flashes, I recommend flashes either here, through sight right here, or through the boxes right here, depending on where you think the enemies are going to be. If you think the people are more or less all over here, nobody's on site, you can use a flash that is facing through this box right here. If you think there might still be players playing behind the dice, or playing up here in heaven, you can use this flash up here. And if you think there's somebody going to be on site in this lobby right here, or in heaven, or even hiding dice again, a flash through here should be the best one. What you can also do, if you for sure know somebody is close here, is use a aftershock like this to clear those people out, and they're gonna take a lot of damage. Other than that, one more aftershock you can use is one like this to damage the people that are playing behind gen. Or use a flash or a stun towards the spawn area if you have a teammate that is pushing, or just to get the plant down, so the enemies are gonna have a harder time retaking, because if you stun like this, you can get a free plant in right here, and it is in general a pretty good thing to get the plant here, right here. Switching over towards arcades. Arcade is pretty simple to take. You can firstly use a stun like this one. This stun is, in my opinion, probably the best one, because firstly you stun right behind these boxes right here, so only in this spot somebody can play, and you can spam that spot for main. Then you stun the people that are playing up here in tower, almost all of them, unless they play in this corner or this corner right here, and it makes it pretty easy for your team to take the site, even if the half of your team is coming from main. You can then use flashes either here close, through side, but if you flash through side, keep in mind you have teammates that are probably coming from main, and if you don't have any teammates coming from main, you just have to worry about main even more, so I recommend you have at least one of your teammates there. Or you can flash up here, or even through this wall right here. But with this flash right here, you kind of have to worry about your teammate that is going up the rope, so you might also flash him. You can also use your aftershock to clear out behind these boxes, but in general, using your stun right here and then having your duelist, for example a Raze or even a Yoru, go here close, clear that out by themselves, should be enough. For ults, there's also a pretty cool one you can use. Firstly, you can use one from over here to get all of the sight, if you think the enemies are on sight, and then you use your stun right here. You kind of have to worry about this corner here, however, because you don't get that. Or you can either stun sight like this when you go under, get all of the sight, or do the same thing towards spawn if you think sight is easier to take, but there's gonna be people close to spawn. You can even use a ult like this to cut off the rotators from coming in towards a B site. Other than that, you can also ult from here, but for that ult I recommend you have a smoke in main. And you can also ult towards CT from here, but again I recommend you have some smokes down. It really depends on what information you have. If you don't have any information, just ulting sight should usually suffice. If I had to give Breach a rating from S to F on Fracture, I'd actually give him the S tier. In my opinion, Breach is the best initiator you can play on this map, and him being really good with most duelists is also a pretty big plus. You can also use him to stop the enemy's pushes in a pretty easy way, since Fracture has only 4 main entry points, and if you are on the right side at the right time, you can fully stop a push by just using one singular stun. That would be it from me. If you have any questions or suggestions which agents I should play next, write them down in the comments. Or if you want to see anything else Valorant related, write it down there as well. I really hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and see you guys very soon. Bye!